So what formats work best for your audience? The format that top-rated TV shows use that appeals to your particular client persona is the format you want to try. I'm a big believer in following the, using what the masters do, and the masters are the television makers and the filmmakers. So follow what they do, and you'll have a better chance of being successful. So some of the formats are recorded versus live. I don't really recommend live because if you don't do that like every day on a certain schedule, chances are you're not going to pick up much in the audience. So I suggest doing recorded content. You could do live on YouTube and Facebook, but again, I would suggest just doing recorded content. Straight information, information about listings, news, marketing, news format versus advertising. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a couple of slides. Feature stories, home tours, real estate shows. You could be a person that has a format where you're the anchor and you have some of your agents, if you're the broker, let's say, and you have some of your agents go out and be the field reporters about what's going on in the market, about what's going on with the listings you have. You can do, that more complex format, or you can do, a documentary format, which is essentially just showing one issue at a time. Look at HGTV. Many real estate professionals are addicted to HGTV, and guess what? So are consumers. They have great styles. There's a lot of different formats. Take the most popular ones and say, well, that particular style might work for what we want to do, and go ahead and produce those kinds of things. You can also do audio or video podcasts. A lot of people listen to audio only podcasts and YouTube without watching the video while they're doing other things. It's a multitasking world we're in now, so a lot of people just listen to helpful information or educational information while they're doing other things. So whatever format works best for your audience is the one you should use. Here's some examples of video in real estate. Again, an obvious one is showing off a property. When they've watched that, the audience feels like they've toured the property. Show off you interacting with a property. If you look great on camera, you speak great on camera, then you might want to go and interact with that property. Play the piano that's on the property, jump in the pool, do the cook in the kitchen, of the property that you are in. Of course, the owner has to agree to all this, but, interact with the property. That's a fresh approach. I see agents doing that now on video, and it's very, very good if they are very good on camera. So that's a different approach than just showing off a property by pointing a camera around. Show off the neighborhood, highlight attractions, restaurants, parks and schools, other community favorites, plus a few of the best properties in town. That's a great way to use video. Meet your neighbors feature story. When I was head of marketing for Pulte Homes in Florida, one of the best ways we did commercials was not by doing all those ads where you had the flying cameras, aerial shots of communities and all that. We did some of that too, but a lot of it was we would hold a picnic at the town center or the community building, and we just invite everybody to come over for a free barbecue, and we'd interview them on camera, and those folks would be able to see what their neighbors would be like. And then many times those folks would say more things that we could ever dream up about how great the neighborhood was to live in, and they become one of some of your best advocates. And of course, then those same people that you've interviewed will now share your video because they're in it with everybody they know. So it's a great lead generator also. You can introduce your brokerage to the world. You can introduce yourself as an agent or broker. You can have a Q&A session as an agent on camera, have people send you questions and you can answer them, or you can make up the questions yourself and shoot yourself doing the questions and answers. Customer testimonial, those are always good. I was trained as a 60 Minutes producer, so that style is probably the most popular and convincing, persuasive style of video that you can produce. There's a lot that goes into it. They're anywhere from 7 minutes to 15 minutes long. Watch 60 Minutes and how they do it. But if you do that on, issues in your area, in your community, something like affordable housing or bidding wars or any of those kinds of things, um, then you will become known as an authority on real estate in your market. And people will watch that format because it's the most popular format there is. You can do a real estate market report in your coverage area. I don't know how many of you are active on Active Rain, but that's a very popular blog topic on Active Rain, where folks do articles. They usually don't do video, but they do articles on what their market is like. And that content can also be shared around on social media, Facebook and Instagram, and all the various platforms. So that's always a helpful piece of content to create. Show the latest about home staging. Um, have an open house report while you're there on location. If the owner agrees, you can actually do a live from your open house on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, um, and you can let people know how it's going at the open house, and also show off the property at the same time. You can have webinars about buying and selling property in your market, and you can show property as it's going through an upgrade. Many folks are now, rather than buying property, they're upgrading their properties, either stay in or sell. And if they're thinking about selling, ask them if you can, shoot some of the construction work and the upgrading that's going on, just like HGTV does. And they have literally millions of viewers on HTV watching those shows as remodels are going on. Let's talk a little bit about advertisements. I produced a lot of commercials. It's in today's world, it's my last choice for content in a content marketing program. People don't like to be interrupted, and they don't believe most ads, especially the younger they are. If they're under 40, they flat don't believe any kind of advertising. So it's my last choice for that reason. But um, you can still ask for the sale. And my rule of thumb is produce 4 pieces of free, helpful content and distribute that. And then 1 piece of content asking for the sale. That's asking for the listing or asking for a buyer. 4 pieces of free and helpful content, and then 1 piece of asking for the sale. If you are going to produce ads, um, an old ad guy that I know, his name's, you probably heard of him, James Patterson. He's a famous author. He used to be the CEO of J. Walter Thompson. He believes that the best ads hit people with a surprise instantly at the beginning, and then show or say something smart. So that's the way ads will work today. Is if you just hit them with a surprise, something that's shocking, and then show something smart about whatever the topic is. That's probably the best way to produce a 15-second or 30-second commercial. I want you to know this. I've been using news to sell for decades, and news sells better than commercials all the time. Commercials may work still for consumer products, but for a large ticket $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 item, ads just don't work that well. You don't get traffic in sales centers or real estate offices from those ads. However, you will get traffic if you report news about the same subjects. And so if you have a nose for news and you can think outside the box, that's probably a way better way to produce content and video than ads. So that's enough about advertising.